Welcome to another episode of Unscripted Believe at Noon. So happy that you're here. Today's co-host is Valerie Spencer, and that name may sound familiar to you if you watched our very first episode where Valerie was a guest. Valerie is an accomplished theater actress. She's a storyteller and a fierce advocate for the arts. Hannah Edelson is our guest today, and she is an emerging actress and writer carving her own creative path. And in this case, she's the daughter of our co-host, Valerie. This is a real mother-daughter moment you won't want to miss. Well, first I want to welcome you. Hannah, welcome. I don't know if you've met Valerie. Well, no, you may not, because she's mom. And I just want to explain this quickly because honestly, I swear like I felt as if I was 30, but when I was younger, which considerably younger, somebody said to me, "What are your parents' name?" And I said, "Mom and Dad." And they said, "No, really, what are their names?" And I said, "Mom and Dad." So I went home and said, "You have other names?" And so honestly, it feels like I asked that question when I was 30. So welcome.
Yeah, 100%. That I feel like everyone has to go through that at some point, realizing their mom and dad's names are not mom and dad, or whatever approximation of mom and dad you have, right?
Exactly. Exactly. And I find that too, that children call their parents by their first names as well. I mean, that is a thing. It's strange, but it's true.
Yeah. Well, and growing up, addressing other people's parents was always Mr. and Mrs. or
Yes,
Ms. as the case may be.
very true. Well, Hannah, I want to know how, I mean, this is maybe a huge stretch, but how did you get involved in the arts?
Just in general,
Yes.
well, it helped to be born into the family of an actress and a writer, I'll say that. We like to joke that I was on stage before I was born, because
You
of the
were.
show. It's a joke, but all good jokes are based in reality, I suppose. And I don't know, growing up with it, I went to a Waldorf school, which is also very arts centric, and then I went to a liberal arts college, and I mean, I think the arts found me, really. They got involved with my life. I was just here.
And what did you do every summer for many, many years?
I went to Shakespeare camp. Thank you, mother. I went to Shakespeare camp, and
Ah,
I was the queen nerd at Shakespeare camp.
Theatricum Botanicum, the storied Theatricum Botanicum in
The
Topanga
story.
Canyon that was started by Will Geer as a response to the Hollywood blacklist.
oh, yes. Yeah. And how did you feel? Could you immerse yourself in Shakespeare? I mean, that's a challenge.
It is, it absolutely is. I mean, I don't think listen, texts change and grow with the person who's reading them. So I'm not going to say I didn't understand it when I was that age. I just think I got different things out of it than a person reading it at, 30, 40, 50, 60, etc. So immerse, maybe not. The thing that I could immerse myself in was the people who were there, because everyone was really nice, and we all had a similar kind of nerdy streak that felt good. And the classes that we took, because we took stage combat and dancing and scansion, which I actually really liked, which is the process of identifying the meter of a given line of text. Iambic pentameter is one such meter that most of Shakespeare's works are written in.
Oh, give us an example of that.
Iambic pentameter?
Yes.
Uh, it's like when somebody asks you your favorite movie and you
I
forget every
know.
movie you've
We would.
ever
I
seen.
could do it because that question wasn't asked of me.
Yeah, get in there.
To be or not to be, that is the question.
Yeah.
Ah,
And that one in particular scans with one extra syllable at the end. And scansion is the process of identifying that extra syllable, which is often called, it's a gendered term, but I think we'll allow it, a feminine ending, which tapers off into that trailing syllable and often indicates uncertainty. So in this particular monologue, Hamlet is questioning a lot of things. To be or not to be, that is the question. It like kind of trails off. I could go on.
oh, that's fascinating. Valerie, how did you feel when Hannah decided this is what she wanted to do?
It's funny because when she went to Lewis and Clark College in Portland, she went as an undeclared major. And then she says, I'm just going to go see, I'm just going to see what I'm interested in. I'm going to take a bunch of classes. And then as the story goes, she went to what was like the theater department, what was like the meet and greet, and they talked about all the shows that they were going to be doing. And you didn't have to be a theater major in order to audition for the shows. So Aunt Hannah auditioned for the big fall show, and she got the lead.
Wow.
And I went, okay, well.
Like I said, I was just here. The arts approached me.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
An undeclared freshman gets the lead in the big fall play. Can you imagine how the senior girls felt about
Actually,
that?
this reminds me of Jane. Remember Jane Sibbett mentioned that she was really disappointed because you came in, Valerie, and she wanted the role, a lead role at UCLA. And then she was very unhappy.
Yeah. I hated her.
I know. This is what happens.
Yeah.
So, Hannah, do you find similarities in the work that you do? Like, I mean, do you see your mom in some of the things that you do as a performer?
As a performer?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I think I think as a performer, you're always colored by everyone you've ever met, and increased exposure increases the likelihood of influence. And I don't think there's anyone in the world who I've been. There are very few people in the world. I don't want to make any gross generalizations, but I don't think there's anyone that I've been exposed to more than my own mother. So yeah, her voice is always with me.
In fact, she's often told that she sounds like me.
It's true. I'll pick up the phone and people will be like, Hannah? Valerie? Yeah, back when we used to have a landline.
Yeah, yeah.
So actually, this begs the question, what kind of relationship do you two have?
Oh, we're chill. We're good.
And what does that look like?
I feel like
hey, Mom.
I feel from my perspective like we made the transition from child parent to both adults very well. I feel very lucky in that, to be able to approach my mom like a fellow adult and have like grown-up conversations where she doesn't feel like she needs to control every aspect of my life or advise me on every little thing, because I think that can come from a place of deep care, but can also come off as, a lack of respect and a lack of trust. And I feel like we have a good amount of respect and trust in our relationship. Mom, what do you think? Am I wrong?
Well, I'm glad to hear you say that. Yeah, you're not wrong. And it's a very intentional part of our relationship on my part. Because of course, I mean, as all moms look at their kids and go, why don't you,
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, zip it. She's a grown person. Let her live her life. It's not my place to judge and control and all that stuff. So, I just keep that shit to myself.
For the most part. I mean, listen, there's certain things where you have to like,
for the listen. Once in a while, something just leaks out. I mean, I'm not,
it's not, yeah, but your intentions are noticed and they are appreciated.
Yeah, thank you. I try.
Oh, that's sweet. But so Hannah, what's the biggest misconception people have about growing up with an actress as a mom? I know it's very different for everyone, but in your perspective.
I don't know, because I don't have any point of comparison. I've only had the one mom. But I would say that she's never around. My mom's always around.
Yes, yes.
Right, because you have this conception of like, well, if mom's an actress, then she's just not going to be there. And that
I didn't do a lot of films and things that took me away. I did LA-based theater, so I was gone at night, but I was definitely around during the day and volunteered at Hannah's school a lot and worked at her school. So I was
beautiful.
Yeah.
And what's your favorite aspect of the arts, Hannah? What are you doing? And also, I want to find out what you're doing now. But what is it? What is it that sparks you?
Well, I'd say right now, where I'm currently at, my favorite aspect of the arts would be how broad that term is, right? Because I majored in theater and computer science, and
Theater
like,
and computer science?
yes, I minored in computer science. I figured
Interesting.
one of them would be an interesting hobby and one of them would get me a job. So I work in tech and I do theater on the side. But being able to find artistic fulfillment anywhere you look is one of my favorite things about specifically getting a liberal arts education, because really you can look at anything and it's art. Every piece of design, every piece of like anything, anything. Right now I'm deeply immersed in crochet, which is, you know, a departure from acting, but not that far, you know, it's the same intention. And it's like being able to learn things, not just from observing someone else's art, but from creating your own. Like in crochet, I learned that it doesn't really matter if you make a mistake if you enjoyed the work in the first place. Because if you have to take it out and do it again, oh no, it's work I like doing. That's not a problem, you know? So, you know, learning things from wherever you look and finding art in all things.
That's beautiful. Have the two of you worked together?
Have we worked together?
Would you like to work together?
Yeah.
What would that be if you haven't already?
We've made clothes together, but I don't know if that counts in this context.
But not, yeah, not theater wise. I mean, well, you did audition for America that one time. I mean, the goal, the ultimate goal is I'm in a theater group called Critical Mass Performance Group. And it would be so cool to have Hannah be in a show with us, you know? And,
Ooh, how do we make that happen? How does that happen?
well, it's just all
Audition?
about, well, no, it's all about our artistic director finding a project that has a slot available. But yeah, I know it would be really cool. And you
Well,
know,
and it's all about me turning up to an audition with my best self and showing her that I'm incredibly competent and good, which, you know, varies day by day. So we'll see.
Yeah, right. Hannah, how do you get your confidence? Where's this confidence come from?
Uh, Faking it, uh, getting an acting degree and pretending until I believe it myself. Um, uh, yeah, I don't know.
And yet you
It's
still do it. You know, and that's important. I think, especially for the viewers and the listeners, I think sometimes, particularly in the creative fields, there's a hesitation. I'm not good enough. There's that imposter syndrome for every single human, and not just in the creative fields. And so, and yet they are stopped by that, or panicked by that, or their anxiety sets in. How do you overcome that? You know, if when that happens.
it's so funny that you asked that. Excuse me. It's funny that you ask that because right now I'm finding myself in a place of hesitation. Um, and that fear and doubt is kicking in for me in a certain like new artistic ventures that I'm trying out, and finding new ways to ask the anxiety what it wants, right? Like all of the feelings that in my current frame of thought, every emotion that we consider negative is just asking for something. So if I'm feeling anxious and stuck, why? Like, what is that asking for me? What am I not giving that piece of myself? What does it need in order to move forward and feel safe in moving forward? The answer is not to just kind of get over it. Like, that can feel a little bit harsh. It's the process of getting over it that needs to pay special attention and, like, you know, create an environment that is hospitable for growth. And I think right now, unfortunately, we're in a place where growth is less hospitable overall for a lot of people. So finding safety where you can and pushing boundaries where you can.
So in this particular instance, what is going to help you, because you're in this place right here, right now,
Mhm.
to get past that and to do what it is that you hope to do?
Right now, research.
Research.
Right now, I need to know more. Right now, with the thing that I'm looking towards, I'm finding like that my insecurities and fears are all coming from a lack of knowledge and a lack of preparedness and a lack of knowing what I'm walking into. So, in order to move past that, what I need to do is look into it a little more, but also remind myself that research can only get you so far. You need to actually learn by experience and, you know, coax that part of me out.
Wow, this sounds like Valerie wisdom. Is this part of a conversation the two of you have had, or maybe through osmosis? Is this osmosis?
I think Hannah's a pretty wise soul.
She certainly is. I'm thinking like, yes, extremely.
I'm an overthinker. It's okay.
No,
Wow, and so what would you hope to do? Let's say, okay, so you had an opportunity, the two of you to work together. What would it be? Do you know? Like just one thing that you would like to do.
I mean, it'd be theater. It'd be fun to play mother and daughter. I think that'd be sweet. It's always funny when we're out together because I'm significantly taller than my mother.
she's almost six
Um,
feet tall,
You're almost 6 feet.
and
I'm quite tall.
I'm a little bit under 5'7", so yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm quite tall.
And she does wear a heel from now and again, and I don't usually wear
Like,
heels. So
hi, mom.
so it's always funny when it's like, that's your dog. Okay. But I think it would be, what do you think, Mom?
Yeah, I mean, I would love to do theater with you. I always just have an image of you in Critical Mass. There was one show that we were working on. Was it Alcestis, where you participated in the warm-ups and, until the theater said, we don't have insurance for her, so she had to leave. But it was a good couple of weeks where she was getting integrated into the company, which was really cool. And I was just like, oh, so that's always been a dream of mine, is to have her bring her into the company, because we do need younger people.
That would be perfect. Hannah, is that something that you'd like to do?
I
Not to
mean,
put you on the
yeah.
spot, but
No, yeah, absolutely. Are you kidding me? Yeah, this is a theater company that I've been looking up to since I was able to look up to them and not taller than everyone.
Yeah, the
So,
first show you saw was the Akhmatova Project when you were 6 years old. It was all about Russian poets in the Russian Revolution getting shot by, and she was in the front row going,
and I didn't understand a dang thing.
oh no. And what are your hopes, Hannah? What would be the ideal for you? I mean, if you had one, what would be
Ideal for
something,
me.
yeah, what you'd like to really see yourself doing in a way that's so clear, if there were no obstacles at all?
Oh, being on stage and singing in particular. I love to
Singing.
sing. Yeah, I like to sing. And I think that I think that Brecht was onto something by tossing songs into every show. I think music has a place in every piece of theater. And that's controversial and that's a hot take, and I'll stand by it.
she did,
Yes.
she did a great contemporary original musical in Portland. It was a climate change musical, right? And you were the
True.
lead character in that.
Yeah.
What was that
Shout
called?
out, shout out to Brooklyn Planetarium. It was Live Prophets Live.
Yeah, yeah. That was really cool.
Well, actually, this is really interesting segue because the two of you may not know this, but we have a guest that's going to pop on right now, and Hannah is going to share something that Valerie doesn't know about. So, but given the fact that this is Mother's Day coming up this weekend, I'm just going to see. Well, it's a mutual friend, in fact. Let's see. Do 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 do.
Surprise!
She is.
Surprise!
Hi.
She is.
Hi, ladies. How are you today?
Isn't this lovely? I mean, mother, daughter, how beautiful is this?
So beautiful, so beautiful. Amy, thank you so much for inviting my dear, 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 dear friends.
And we were just talking about that in the and how Hannah is so close to your children, and how that's beautiful.
I know, so
We-
grateful.
Yeah,
And
I was,
we
I
were
was
also
texting Ruby
talking.
yesterday.
That's unbelievable. And we were also talking about Mother's Day is coming up, and that perhaps isn't there something you want to share, Jane? To
Yeah, so there was, so I wanted to know if Hannah would indulge me for a moment. I was privy to seeing what she wrote in a flurry of inspiration in a workshop that we did a few years ago. And Hannah, might you indulge me on this one?
I will indulge you. There are, yeah, I've been trying because it was a multi-day thing and multi-project thing, and there were a bunch of different little snippets.
Oh, I
I
know
think,
which one is my favorite.
which one is your favorite?
The workshop, the library.
That's the one I was just looking at. I have it pulled up right now. Okay, I'll read that one. I have seen the house of my mother's regrets. It has an upstairs, a downstairs, and an expansive library full of books. I think you can imagine what's in them. I've visited this house before with her, but she doesn't live there anymore. She goes to visit the library. I've seen her methodically pick through books, and once she's found the one she's after, she'll take it to her workshop. I've seen my mother work on her regrets, gently tearing the pages one by one from this book, editing, stitching, pressing, rebinding. And when she is done, the new tome goes in her new and sunlit reading room. I've been there too, perused her hopes, her dreams, her successes and failures, and the new books there are far more beautiful and full of stories. My mom doesn't live in a library of regret. She still has many books there, but one by one I've seen her shape them. She's very crafty and good with her hands. I only hope I've inherited her skill with mending.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. What inspired you to write that, Hannah?
It was during that writing workshop.
Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. Valerie has tears. I'm just wondering. For those who are listening and not watching, Valerie shed tears. All right. I'm sorry, Hannah. Go right ahead.
Sorry. Listen, it's my long history of making my mother cry.
Happy tears.
Auntie
Yeah,
Jane too.
Just like it came from a writing workshop, right? And I can't remember the exact prompt, but just, watching the way my mom approaches mistakes and failure, and like making choices and finding how to work with the choices that are made, and not necessarily feeling the need to fix anything, quotation marks, but finding ways to improve upon and live within choices. If that makes sense. And illuminate the world in places where it needs illuminating. And also the fact that every single creative craft she picks up, she's good at. It's deeply unfair and sets an impossible standard for me. I had to find one that I was good at, and she hasn't tried yet. So I've got crochet, and that's
Right
it.
back.
Oh no! Hannah, pick up your lace.
no.
Pick up your lace.
No, it's
Valerie
she's actually
started
gonna, she's
crocheting.
gonna brag. She's gonna brag because I made her this for her
No
birthday.
way.
Yeah.
Oh,
Listeners,
Hannah, you made
Valerie
this.
has crocheted.
This is what Hannah crocheted. Isn't
I
it?
did that.
Hannah.
I did that. Yeah.
Oh, that's stunning.
I
had
could
to
never in a million years do that. Ever.
Actually, it goes with your mom's shirt.
It does. It really
Everything in
does.
my room.
That's
Yeah.
You should
Actually,
wear
yeah.
it as a hat to
Yes,
chapeau.
Chapeau.
Beautiful. It's
That's
so
stunning.
fashionable. A trail of mode. Yeah, I have a pile of doilies immediately to my left.
Oh, that's great. I love that.
just,
I
keep
love
your
that.
hands busy. It's
Oh my gosh,
beautiful.
that's so great.
Wow, it really
And
is
I
interesting.
want to ask you, okay, we're part of the project for Noon Miracle that Jane Sibbett created, and your mom was the first to get involved at UCLA, which is so cool that we're all here. I want to ask you, what miracle are you believing in right now for yourself or for the world?
Oh, what
No pressure.
miracle. What miracle am I believing in for myself or for the world? The miracle I'm believing in is that everybody's just trying to have a nice day.
Ah,
That's
The
beautiful.
the miracle is that everybody's just trying to have a nice day and trying to get through the day. And if everybody could, and the miracle I'm believing in is that everybody's going to understand that someday.
That's priceless. And your mom is wearing that hat beautifully.
It's
It's
a
stunning.
fascinator. Yeah, I got to put a pin on the back.
Yes,
Yeah,
you
I
do.
can't move my neck, but
Yeah. This is actually good for posture. It
Yes.
would really train you to stand tall. Thank you. What are you doing for Mother's Day? And you have to celebrate for the two of us because Jane and I no longer have our beautiful mothers. So what are you two doing?
I don't know, Mom, you want to go to brunch?
I'd love to, but I'm doing a thesis play reading at USC.
That's right. That's
hilarious.
right.
And are you going to join her?
Oh, biggest misconception about having an actress for a mother. She's never there. She doesn't want
Yes, actually, we did touch on that, didn't we?
Yeah.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
we'll probably do a makeup brunch at some point, and like,
Maybe you can come over and be with my mother.
great. I'd love to be with
That's
Perfect that day.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Wait,
'Cause,
and Amy, do you know what they call her Valerie's mother?
No,
Hannah?
Perfect.
perfect.
Because
This
yes,
is perfect number
because
1, perfect number 2, perfect number 3.
because no, when we were when my mom and her sister were pregnant, they asked my grandmother, what would you like your grandma name to be, like grandma, Mima, Mammy, whatever. And she said, well, I'd like it if they called me Perfect. Oh, and we did, and we just did. And I didn't know it was weird until I was in high school.
Oh my God, that's you really call her perfect?
Oh,
Yeah.
You mean
100%.
that's the name you call her?
That's her
Yeah.
name.
I
I
even
didn't-
call her Perfect because I love this name so much.
I
Oh,
didn't
that's
know she
brilliant.
had another name. I thought it was just her name, and
I
that
can
was what
never
we
remember
called
her real
Anna,
name.
you
She's
see,
really
you feel
perfect.
me. You feel me? You understand?
Yeah,
'Cause
exactly.
I was just explaining that, your mom has another name. It's Valerie. And I was just saying that I didn't know my parents had other names other than mom and dad until it felt like I was 30, but probably 10. I don't know.
That's so wonderful.
You have other names? I was seriously traumatized. Thank you so much, the two of you, for being on. Jane, thank you for your sweet surprise.
Thank you for letting me crash the party. I'm so
Love it.
happy to be here. And
Unscripted, that's the key.
thank you so
Believe at
much.
noon. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you,
Thank you
Amy.
so much. This was wonderful.
Thank
great.
you. Thanks, Anna.
Happy Mother's Day every day.
Bye.
Happy Mother's Day every day. Thank you.